facing Malinga.
It is a good technique, but he does have to find a way to manipulate and rotate. Oh, gone. He does have to find a way to manipulate and rotate the strike. He does have to find a way to get the other batsman on strike.
And Malinga's going to continue. So he's got 2 slips also for Fokker. There is a third man, a fine leg. Everyone else is pretty much in the ring in standard positions. We haven't really seen any sideways movement from Malinga so far.
And this puts pressure on the new guy, on Fokker. He's not played a lot of international cricket.
And he is facing up to Malinga here. It's full and too full. It was a full toss. And probably should have punched this down from the ground for a couple, but instead he just got off the toe of the bat by the look of it. And went down to mid-off, and there's no run.
84 mile an hour, sort of low, full toss Yorker, toe of the bat. That vibrates all the way up the handle, and your fingers tingle, and it's horrible.
The ball to come on, it didn't bounce. It's 115 kilometres an hour.
Just that slow ball.
Yeah. And it just got away from Malinga, and he just steered that out to the point, and there was a bit of a gap there.
That's the freaky thing with Malinga. So he's actually, I quite like that setup. He just hasn't quite got that ball right length. He's gone fast Yorker, and then he's gone the slower ball Yorker, which sort of floats and then dips because he gets a lot of overspin, a lot of topspin on his on the slow ball. He's just not quite got the line right. Had that been straight, I reckon, because you go looking for it when there's width, you can find it. When it's straight, you kind of lose it for some reason as a batsman.
Malinga up at the batsman again. This is a half volley, and he's sliced across it a little bit for Carr, but he's got it deep back with the point, and it might go again, and it is going to go again. So 2 straight boundaries, and that's going to take the pressure off a little bit. And with Azhar Ali not having scored the first 10 balls, Fokker is now 9 off 5. So the Malinga story was that the Finch and Sehwag were walking out to bat, and Sehwag looked at Finch and he said, "You're not going to be able to face this guy. You're not good enough to be able to face this guy, Finchy. I'll take the strike."
This is what Viru said.
Yeah.
Sehwag.
And Sehwag said, so Sehwag goes out, smashes Malinga around, and of course, first ball next over. Finch goes out, he's trying to prove Sehwag wrong, tries to drive the first one, it's the slower one, dips out, clean bowls him.
And that is with the slow ball, when it is straight, you lose it. There is some weird sort of optical illusion where you lose it. But when there's width on it, when it's coming straight at you, you can't pick up the speed, the velocity. But when there's some width on it and there's a diagonal sort of trajectory, you'll see it easier.
Malinga in again. Only 1 slip now. They put the man out at point after those 2 balls. This is left alone outside off stump.
And that goes for catches as well. When the mid-on, mid-off catches, when the batsman hits it directly straight at you, you've got no sense on how fast it is coming at you.
Is that why I always drop him?
That's why I always drop him at mid-on. And so, but if it's a little bit to your left or a little bit to your right, then you've actually got a vector to work with, a diagonal line to work with, and you can, for some reason, you pick up the speed of it a lot better.
Ian O'Brien, former
drop catcher,
maths teacher, and New Zealand fast. This is full outside off stump, and Fokker command just absolutely launches into this. They've got the point out now, but he's hit it in front of 4. Up towards cover, and that has gone for 4. That one was the first one where he really went for it.
Given width, given someone a hit, given a sighter over the wicket, now around the wicket, and I said at the start of the over, the pressure is on Zaman because of the 10 balls that Azhar has faced, and eating it up and hitting one of the world's best bowlers to the fence.
So this over, we've had dot, 4, 4, dot, and 4. They put all the men back in the ring on the offside, but he's still finding the gap. So Zaman facing up again, and this one has cut right across him. It's Malinga coming around the wicket, and he's managed to straighten that.
In and out.
And it's gone through to the keeper, so there's no runs. So the end of Malinga's over. His 2 overs have gone for 12 now, and by that I mean that over went for 12, and he went for a maiden in his first one. Just held up a little bit. And that sort of weird UFO spin that he puts on the ball. So every other bowler spins the ball backwards, and he spins it sideways.
It'd be a horror with a red ball to try and keep the red ball shiny, because he would be always just mashing up the shiny side, because there is, he doesn't hit the strings. He hardly ever hits the seam. So you'd always just be polishing that shiny side. Latif, just hit the string, stop killing it.
Lakmal in with 2 slips, and there's a swing and a miss from Azhar Ali outside off stump. He wasn't really committed to that shot. In fact, that's pretty much the edge of second slip, that shot. But luckily for him, he doesn't get anything on it, and it goes through to the wicketkeeper.
It's just with the new ball, and it happened in the first innings as well, and we saw it in the England-Bangladesh game as well. The new ball just hit the surface, and it just kicks a hint, it just grips and kicks, and that's when you get that little slight sideways, but it's that kick that's just done Ali there.
As facing Saringa Lakmal again. 2 slips behind him, they're still attacking, they need wickets. This one hits the middle of the bat, goes back towards the bowler, there is no run.
Comes down to your own insecurities here for Azhar Ali now. How long can he sit in and do this? Yes, he's eating
12
up
balls.
Yes, he's eating up deliveries. And does that matter? Not so much, because Fakar's had such a good over at the other end. But it does matter overall, because I can't see this going to the 50th, so it's not going to. But there is still an intensity that he has to find. There is still a rhythm.
Lakmal coming in again to Azhar, who this time tries to flick it on the leg side, but finds short wicket. There's no run. There was a bit of a fumble, but he fumbled it towards the stumps.
I like that shot. He played that shot twice in the over before towards mid-wicket. There was just a little bit more on it. There was just a little bit more forcing it, as opposed to defending it and placing it. There was.
Would you say it's more flourish?
Yeah,
flourish.
It wasn't quite a flourish. It was more of a punch than a flourish. I'm talking a flourish. There's just a little twist of the bat flourish, as opposed to putting some energy on.
From the river tap, and the mullet of Saringa Lakmal bouncing on his shoulders, his massive shoulders as he comes in. And this ball is driven back towards him. He throws the ball at Azhar Ali's head. Azhar Ali's like, dude, it's hard enough for me as it is out here. I'm 14 balls without scoring. Don't throw the ball at my head. Also, if you're bowling at 127 k's an hour, I don't know if pointless signs of masculinity is really going to change anything there. But Azhar Ali, still 14 balls without scoring. The other end, Zaman is 13 off 8. They're 14 for none after 3.4 overs. It's a decent mullet. I'd say it's a late 90s mullet. It's not a Pringle.
But with the goatee as well, it's exceptional.
Lakmal coming in again, full. Punched up the ground a little bit in the end, and they steal the single to mid on, and you can hear the crowd celebrate Azhar Ali's run, his first run, and they move on to 15.
One left? Yeah, one left.
Just one.
Can they get a dot ball in here to keep Azhar Ali on strike, just to put a bit more pressure on him, make him make a mistake, make him change his game, make the batsman change his game, because he isn't scoring runs. So can they get a dot ball in here?
Strike rates of Azhar Ali is 6.7 and of Zaman is 162.5.
I mean, they cancel each other out,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
That's part of the reason Zaman's been brought into this side as well. But Lakmal coming in with 2 slips to Zaman. no one at in front of point there, and this is down the leg side, and he's got a little bit on it, it's ticking away. There is a fine leg, but that's going to go away for 4. So his 4th boundary, and he's scoring pretty much in boundaries here, and Blackwell's over ends, and it's gone for 5, and they're 19 for none after 4. You're listening to TalkSport 2 and Cricket Radio. I'm Jared Kimber, and this is Ian O'Brien, who's about to tell you all about the under pull.
Yeah, it's just a junk delivery, to be honest. He bowled pretty well.
At that pace
and
as well.
Junk delivery on sort of, it wasn't even on the thigh pad, it was behind the thigh pad. So all he had to do was flick, a little flicker, a little nudge, anything on it. But he was trying to shovel pull it around the corner. Got enough on it. And down fine leg. But okay, so there's still at the end, the net result is Azhar Ali's on strike to Malinga.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a win for Sri Lanka. 2
slips in again, so they're still more than willing to attack Azhar Ali. The strike rate now is 6.7 for Ali, and for Zaman is 188. As Malinga comes in, he flicks again on the leg side. There's a misfield. He goes to run. Zaman had turned his back on him. I mean, Ali's happy to take with any run he can find at this point. But he has to be sent back. And then now is that Dick Waller?
Yeah.
I think the wicketkeeper there.
He wants to throw the stumps down the non-strikers in.
He's suggesting that it wasn't a dead ball yet, and that he could have run out Zaman, who left his crease to go and have a talk to Azhar.
Wanted it down. There was no. See, they'd already gone back, so the run had been denied, if you like. They said yes, no, whatever. Got back to their own ends, and then Fakar's actually come down to chill out Azhar Ali, which is the complete opposite of what should be happening out there.
It is Azhar Ali facing Lasif Malinga, and this is short, and he flees it away, and this time gets it down to the 3rd man for 1, and you can hear from the crowd how excited they are at virtually any run he scores at this point.
We're talking 3/4 Pakistan fans versus the other Sri Lanka fans in the crowd?
Yeah, okay.
Or are we talking a bit more 50-50? I'm trying to work
out.
50-50. 2/3, a third?
Certainly a lot more Pakistan fans in.
And I think they've been a lot more vocal, and I think, okay, they're in a position where they can be a lot more vocal.
Well, they've got a local player as well. Imad was there.
Of course.
Come out for the local boy.
Imagine how many tickets he had to dish out for this game of your complimentaries.
He lived there for 6 months, but still a specialist in the conditions, I'd say. When he was a baby, I think he was here for 6 months as well. Malinga comes in again. This is short, and just with a straight bat, right back up the wicket to him, and there's no run.
He was born here, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, born here.
Yeah,
it's the first 6 months.
Yeah, so.
But you learn a lot in those times.
Welsh-born Pakistani. There's not a lot of them.
Probably by the end of his 6 months, where would he be? He could roll over, perhaps.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to hold his head.
Just starting to sit up. Just starting to sit up.
So he might have been on solids, depending on how his family went into it. So he learned a lot of Welsh things. Some rare bit.
He would have certainly had some Welsh cakes.
Yeah. There we go.
Absolutely. Missed them.
Local lad. Malinga's in again. And tries to play this away. He's already got a few boundaries on the offside. This time he mistimes it, and it just goes out to cover point, and there is no run. They're 20 for none after 4.4. Malinga's bowling about 129 kilometres an hour. And to be fair, his action usually feels a little bit quicker than that.
And similar to Hassan Ali was being registered on the radar today, registered sort of 133 to 135 kmph, but certainly looked early 40s in terms of how late you pick it up because of the whippy slinginess of his action.
And there's some whippy slinginess from Malinga, but it's dropped on their feet. They take a quick single. It wasn't always there. Azhar Ali doesn't They have sort of questioned Marais Erasmus. I don't think he's even going to go up. But it was a little bit lazy from Azhar Ali. We saw Malinga do something similar earlier. He got his bat down, but he certainly wasn't grounding it the whole way, but he was safely home.
He was well in and did ground his bat. But if you,
over the crease.
Over the crease. If you have a look at that replay again, we've just seen it. It wasn't a plonk over the crease, but it wasn't. He didn't slide it into and thus over the line. And it was just a
soft tap.
Just sort of dabbed it down over the. Yeah.
Like the
no, you can't do that. It's automatic two-match ban if you do that.
No dabbing in this box.
No. Two-match suspension. It's like being late on your overs.
Derek Pringle was just a dabbing as well. Malinga comes in again. This is fast and full, and Azhar Ali finds a fielder.
He hasn't done
no run.
He hasn't done any dabbing since he was at Skegness on the bingo. That's how you do bingo, with a little dab.
At the end of the over, and Ian O'Brien is leaving, and it's 21 for no loss after 5. That last ball for Malinga was a little bit quicker, 136 kilometres. Azhar Ali, 2 of 18, and Pakistan is 18 of 12 with 4 boundaries. Derek, how are you?
Very well, Jared. Yourself?
Not too bad. You know what a dab is, of course.
I'm a bit confused.
Stanky leg? Nay? Whip it? Thought you might know about a stanky leg.
I thought dag in Australia meant something kind of a bit more. You're a dag.
Means like you're a nerd. So
it's not complimentary.
No. I said dab, though.
Oh, dab. Sorry, I thought you said dag.
You're not a dag.
Completely confused.
We got one slip in. It's sort of a wideish slip in around second. But everyone else is in a ring. We do have a shortish mid-wicket, maybe in a slightly catchy position. As Lakmal is coming into Zaman, who just knocks that to short mid-wicket, and there is no run. What have you made of the start?
Well, I just feel Lakmal's the more likely bowler because I think this pitch, it helps the guys with a steeper trajectory. It just allows it to grip in the surface a little bit more. Malinga is a slinger and will be skinny. I mean, he's a great bowler, but I think his star is fading a bit now. And Lakmal's tall, but I think he's the most likely to strike, and they certainly need wickets. I mean, Azhar Ali took his time, but he's a test match batsman.
He certainly is, even when he plays one-day cricket at times. This is down the leg side. There's a little bit of glove, went off the thigh pad, but it didn't quite reach Dick Waller, the wicketkeeper, and he ends up fumbling it as he tries to come forward. That was given runs, I think. Yep.
No, he tapped his leg.
Oh, what was a leg by?
Right, yeah.
So Dick Weller obviously thought there was some glove there, so they've just scrambled through for the leg byes. The ball ends up at short, fine leg, and Malinga comes around to field. So they've changed the field slightly. When Zaman is facing, they bring the fine leg up in the circle and they put out the deep backward square. But Azhar Ali's back on strike, 2 slips, still attacking him. He is just the 2 off 18. And Lakmal's coming in from the River Taff end again. And Azhar Ali, middle of the bat, middle of